whole life when I heard 50, it was like, oh, that's really old.
And eventually you don't want to be there. All the money in the world will not help.
And that's my biggest regret in my life.
And life moves so fast.
How old are you?
I am 45.
And yourself?
I just turned 50.
What does it feel like to be 45 and 50?
Well, it's moving faster and faster, and health is really important. So you have to make sure that you stay on top of that because you don't get that help outside.
Do you feel 45?
Nope.
How old do you feel?
32.
That's why 32. That's
Very specific.
it's very specific. Yeah.
Just feels appropriate.
What about yourself?
I think when you get to be my age, the big 50, you become sort of acutely aware of time and how ephemeral and temporary everything is and how quickly time moves. You sort of appreciate things more, at least you hope you do. In terms of the physical, like my friend Basil here, I don't feel 50. My whole life when I heard 50, it was like, holy shit, that's really old. But I feel I guess 30 if I had to put a number on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was turning 50 like emotionally?
Emotionally, it was a disaster because, like I said, I had all this meaning attached to it. You know, it does sound old. Even just saying it, it's gross. Yeah, I wish I wasn't 50, but, you know, along with that comes a lot of experience, lessons, obviously, in life. So I appreciate that. I try to have an attitude of gratitude, appreciate all the experiences that I've been through, good and bad. And that, I think, makes me grateful and appreciative of everything else as opposed to someone who's, say, 20.
What is something that gets less important the older that we get?
Waste of time.
Wasting time becomes less important?
Yeah, because it's easy to waste time and not think ahead when you're younger. And then as you get older, you realize it doesn't make any sense to do that. You got to watch all day and how you act and where you're going and where you wish to see yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
What are some things that you do every day now that maybe you didn't do before, where you appreciate time more?
Wake up early, meditate, have gratitude, and plan the day to be the best you can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
You care a little less about what other people think of you. Because, again, you recognize that life is short. That was a lot more important to me when I was younger. I think you value relationships more. You recognize that you should focus more on spending time with people who are worth your time and who you're going to learn from and grow from. And so all the other sort of superficial stuff, clothes, money, cars, job, whatever, that's a lot less important. You just find what you love to do and then spend all your time and energy pursuing that. Right now I'm in a job that I absolutely loathe, but when you get to my age, like my entire resume is this particular job.
Right.
So it's difficult to make a career change at this point, although I wish I could. I probably should. Yeah.
What is a big mistake that you've made or a big regret that you have that has taught you a very valuable lesson in life?
Don't look at money for money. You got to look at what you want to do, and then money does come if you get better and better at what you want to do. When you go into something that feels like it's going to bring you a lot of money, it doesn't necessarily mean it'll make you feel like you're in the right place, and eventually you don't want to be there.
Right.
So all the money in the world will not help.
Since you're more introspective now, I guess, than you were when you were younger,
Yeah.
is there one experience or any experience that you recommend people do while they're younger?
Test things out and see what really feels good. Because usually you really know yourself better than you think you do. It feels natural to waste time, but it's not something that adds anything to your life at all. You know, and life moves so fast.
What about
You
yourself?
said, if you're young, try out everything. Try to get as much exposure and experience to many different things. For me, my biggest regret was I wanted to be an actor. That was my dream since I was in like elementary school. I was in all the school plays, and I had a modicum of success like when I was in my late teens, early 20s. I was on a few TV shows, and I was like sort of almost like on the cusp of like making it. I guess I got scared, and it was like, you know, I need to work. I need to support myself, obviously. I was the quintessential starving artist. I was sleeping on friends' couches. I was bartending. I was a server, whatever, doing what I had to do so I can go on auditions during the day. And I kind of like gave up on that dream and got like the typical corporate 9-to-5 job. And that's my biggest regret in my life because I was like 20, let's say 22. I should have really kept at it and pursued it because that's all I've ever wanted to do was be an actor. And now I have some lame corporate job and it's like, yeah, I can pay my rent and whatever, live, but I'm not, you know, what is the point at the end of the day? You recognize that time is so short. It's so precious. The most precious commodity all of us humans have is time. You can't get back time. That's the only one thing that you can't get back or get more of, let's say. It's just passing, like we said, and sort of hyper aware of that now, where I wasn't in the past. I thought I was going to live forever. And, you know, when you're 22, you think you're going to live forever. I got my whole life ahead of me. No, you have to do it then. Try, fail. There's nothing to be ashamed of with failure. Just learn from it and then move on and just try a whole bunch of different things. That would be my biggest advice to a young person.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, then you're definitely gonna like this video right here. If you haven't already subscribed, please make sure to do that now. I'm Will, and as always, it's a mindset.